This is your primetime forecast for East Alabama and West Georgia from Dr. Don's Weather. Dr. Don's Weather is made possible by the Randolph County Commission, First Light Coffee, Roger Bell Auto Brokers, Southern Auction Solutions, Genesis Weight Clinic, Jimmy Stevens Construction, Anchor Roofing, the Town of Wadley, Auction 431 South, the Salem Auction House, and Bama Diesel Repair. From the Alpha Weather Center, powered by Boondocks Barbecue and Creamery, Southern Union State Community College, and the venue at 5 Points Farms. Here's Dr. Don.
Yeah, good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. Welcome to your Saturday, January 27th, 2024. It is time now for your prime time forecast from Dr. Don's Weather. Hey, let me tell you about Southern Auction Solutions. Mr. Ron Young and the fine folks at Southern Auction Solutions, they've got 4 big auctions on the way. They've got the Diaz auction, the Living Estate auction with woodworking and household items. That's coming up on February 8th. They also have an auction including 6 5.5-acre tracts of land in Wedowee. That's on February 27th. Also, the Second Amendment auction will be taking place on March the 12th, and the 4th annual spring equipment auction on April 6th. Now, you can go to their website, southernauctionsolutions.com, and find out all the information on all of these upcoming auctions, or you can just give them a call at 334-885-1787. Remember, it's Southern Auction Solutions. They can handle all of your auction needs, and you need to go to their website and check out the upcoming auctions there for Southern Auction Solutions. Thank you, Mr. Ron Young, and all the folks there at Southern Auction Solutions for supporting Dr. Don's Weather. And also, we have, of course, your insurance guy. It's Jamie Dukas. He can save you money with Alpha Insurance. Give Jamie a call at 256-831-7770. You can also click the link at the top of the video. You can also scan that QR code you see there on the screen. Don't forget Jamie Dukas for all of your insurance needs. Good morning, Pam Johnson. Hope you're enjoying that Dr. Don Weather coffee cup this morning with all that delicious coffee going on. And we appreciate Pam. Of course, she's a Randolph County Commissioner. We appreciate her support in multiple different ways, supporting Dr. Don's Weather, including enjoying that delicious cup of coffee in her Dr. Don Weather Cup. And you can do the same thing. All you have to do, the link is at the top of the video to go to our weather store, and you can pick up that coffee cup. You're supporting Dr. Don's Weather at the same time. And as you get your coffee cup, send me a photograph of you enjoying a delicious cup of coffee in your Dr. Don cup, as I am doing this morning, and we'll feature you here on Dr. Don's Weather. Thank you, Miss Pam. We appreciate you more than you know. All right, let's move along and talk about some weather. We've got a lot to talk about. First, don't forget, you know the deal. Head over to our YouTube site and make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the little bell so that when we go live to cover severe weather, you'll be guaranteed to get that push notification. All right, it's going to be a wet day. We got a lot of rain on the way. The next storm system is ramping up just off to our west and about to move into East Alabama this morning. We have a flood watch that continues through tonight and into tomorrow morning, and we may have to deal with 1 or 2 rounds of severe weather today. Let's take a look at that possibility. First, let me tell you that this morning's round of potential severe weather, probably not. And if we do see anything, it will likely be south of the I-85 corridor. We're watching the radar this morning. We do have some very heavy rain down there in southwest Alabama that's moving in the general direction of, Selma, Montgomery, maybe up into the Auburn-Opelika area. And, I mean, the heavy rain could make it even up into Randolph County. But so far this morning, we've seen no severe weather, though the storms are strong. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And then we will have potentially a second round of storms this afternoon. And if that second round does develop, it has the potential of being stronger than what we're going to see this morning. And that would be between about 4 and 8 p.m. this afternoon into the early part of the evening. And you can see that we do have a 2 out of 5 slight risk category for the potential for severe weather this afternoon. But as I told you last night, this is going to be conditional. And what we mean by that is after the first round moves through this morning, if we can get some breaks in the clouds and we get some sunshine, which will cause the surface to heat up, then would certainly increase our chances of seeing severe weather late this afternoon into early this evening. So there's a big, huge question mark right there as to whether we see a second round of potential severe weather, but it's certainly on the table. It is a possibility. And so in that yellow area, which encompasses most of Talladega, central and southern southwestern Clay, all of Coosa, Tallapoosa, and maybe extreme western Chambers, and even down into Lee County and Elmore County, in those yellow areas there, we have a little bit of an elevated risk of a brief tornado and damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour. And if you're in the green area, which covers the rest of our coverage area, there still remains that threat, but it's not as high as what we see in the yellow. And again, folks, the yellow is only a 2 out of 5, so it's not significant. We're not looking at a red letter severe weather day today, but as you hear me say all the time, it is a day that you're going to want to make sure you're weather aware. Be aware of what's going on around you, just in case we get 1 or 2 severe thunderstorms. You hear me say this all the time too. If it happens in your front yard, then it's significant. It may not affect anybody else, but if it affects you, it is significant. So make sure you know what's happening today. Stay close to a good source of weather information. And of course, we'll be live here on Dr. Don's Weather if conditions warrant and we get into a severe weather event this afternoon. So that's kind of what we're thinking is going to happen. Regardless of whether we get severe weather or not, we're going to pick up a lot of rain today, or potentially we will pick up a lot of rain. We see a lot of rain out there already moving our way, so we're pretty sure that's going to happen. And our creeks and our rivers are already full. All right, so when you take a sponge and you run water into that sponge, there comes a point where that sponge gets full of water, and then so any other water that hits it just runs off. The sponge doesn't soak it up. So that's what our ground is like this morning all across Alabama and Georgia. We've had so much rain in the past week or so, the ground is completely saturated. So every single drop of rain that falls from the clouds today is not going to get soaked up by that sponge. It's going to run off. Well, when water runs off the surface of the ground, it goes into creeks and it goes into rivers. And on the pavement, of course, it does that all the time on the pavement. But the point I'm trying to make is we can't take much rain or we're going to start to have some flooding areas, especially in flood-prone areas. And you know where those locations are. So I think probably some flooding may be our biggest threat today, but we cannot rule out the possibility of severe thunderstorms. And even though the tornado threat is very low, it's not zero. So there's that chance that we could see a few small tornadoes as well. So again, it's a day that you're going to want to remain weather aware as we go throughout your Saturdays. Take a look at the current conditions at the venue at 5 Points Farms. We've got 58 degrees out there. The wind is out of the east-northeast at 1, gusting to 2. Humidity is 99%. The barometric pressure at 30.06. Dew point is 58. We have had just a trace of rain so far. A few showers moved through earlier this morning, and we have a few showers out there forming now. We'll show you that in just a bit. The high temperature yesterday was a fantastic 69 degrees. Yesterday afternoon, we had breaks in the clouds. We had some sunshine. It was just gorgeous there for a couple of hours. Sky conditions this morning, mostly cloudy. Some of you may be picking up a light shower. Sunrise will be at 6:38, and the sun sets this evening at 5:09 p.m. So it'll be a cloudy day with showers, occasional thunderstorms. There will be periods of heavy rainfall. We are under a flash flood watch, and we could have a strong to marginally severe thunderstorm, especially this morning, anytime after about 9 a.m. through about noon, and then potentially again this afternoon between 4 and 8. Again, big question mark on the second potential round. It may or may not happen, but we're going to watch this together and see. So we're looking at 69 degrees for the high this afternoon in Roanoke, 68 over in Ashland. We'll hit 70 down in Alexander City, and Valley will top out this afternoon at 70 degrees as well. Once all of the rain finally moves out, temperatures are going to start falling, and we'll cool off a bit this evening. We'll show you that on the 6-day forecast coming up right now. So for today, a 100% chance of rain. Maybe some fog out there this morning, showers and thunderstorms, periods of heavy rainfall, 69 your high, down to 43 tonight. Then on Sunday, we start the day mostly cloudy. I think the rain's done by midnight tonight. We start the day mostly cloudy, and then we may get some wraparound moisture on the backside of the low that's going to go north of us tomorrow afternoon. So there could be some drizzle tomorrow afternoon, 1, 2, 3 p.m., but I don't think it will be enough rain to add to the surplus of rainfall. 49 will be the high on Sunday, so it's going to be a cool day. It's going to be windy, too. I mean, the winds could gust as high as 30 miles per hour this afternoon, tonight, and into Sunday, so that could potentially bring down a tree or two also. 36 will be your overnight low on Sunday night, and then as we get into your next work week, a pretty nice week on the way. Monday will be cool at 52, but plentiful sunshine, down to 31 on Monday night, the only night that we drop below freezing, we think. Tuesday, mostly sunny, 58. Wednesday, mostly sunny, maybe a few scattered clouds, 57. We'll get close to freezing Wednesday night, but right now the computer says we'll stay 1 degree above at 33. And then on Thursday, mostly sunny, 58 will be your high. And I got to tell you right now, the long range is showing us a dry weekend on the way, and doggone it, we deserve it because we've had foul weather just about every weekend since Christmas. Right now, it looks like the upcoming weekend, though, is going to be pretty nice across East Alabama and West Georgia. We will remain about seasonal with temperatures through the end of January. Long-range computer models are suggesting we may have yet another Arctic blast on the way by the time we hit the second week or so of February. Maybe around Valentine's Day, we drop off into the deep freeze again, if that is correct. And, of course, there's plenty of time for that to change, and we'll keep you updated on that as we move forward. Let's take a look at your Southern Union State Community College live Doppler HD radar this morning, and just look at that mess. Our primary concern is going to be this front that you see stretched right now basically from about Chattanooga down to Birmingham, down to about Montgomery. Most of the rain in Alabama right now is west of I-65 and west of I-59, north of Birmingham, but everything is moving on off to the east and to the northeast. I'll bring your attention to this area here between I-20 and I-10 along I-59 where you see those yellows. That's where we're watching for the possibility of some strong thunderstorms to formulate or to form. That's where the heaviest rain is right now in all of this, and you can see the way it's moving off to the east and maybe northeast. That area is going to move across Jackson, Thomasville, Linden. It'll eventually make it up into Montgomery, Andalusia, and it could make it as far north as Clanton, Roanoke, and Columbus as we get into the 9-10 a.m. Time frame this morning. So this is the area to watch down here in south and southern Mississippi, southwest Alabama. If we get any strong to severe thunderstorms, that's where we would see that form. So let's jump over to the next rad and let's take a look at the Birmingham radar, and we want to just take you in a little bit closer and get local with this thing. It may take a second for this to load up, but there we go. All right, so that's what's happening across East Alabama and West Georgia right now. You can see that we're showing no precipitation between I-20 and I-85, but if you go back over to the west just a wee bit between Birmingham and Montgomery, you can see the rain moving into Alabama, and again, it's all moving off to the east and northeast, which is going to be in the general direction of East Alabama and West Georgia. But again, nothing severe out there right now. We'll see if we can get anything going in the next couple of hours, and we'll have live coverage for you here on Dr. Don's Weather if we see that happening. Don't forget to follow us over on Twitter. It's at DSTREN1040. We broadcast all of our weather information on Twitter, just as we do on Facebook, YouTube, and at drdonwx.com. Don't forget about HyperReach. It's situations just like this that require you to text the word alert to 256-540-8664 if you live in Randolph County, Alabama, so that you'll get the link to sign up for HyperReach. In turn, you will receive very important information in weather situations like what we're going to see today from the Randolph County Commission and the Randolph County Emergency Management Agency. Information such as road closings due to flooding, or any information. I mean, if they had to evacuate a particular area, that kind of information is what you'll get, and you'll get weather information as well. So be sure you sign up for that today. And if you don't live in Randolph County, check your local government website, because I can almost guarantee you they have a mass notification system that would notify you just like HyperReach notifies the Randolph County citizens. We have one up here in White County, Georgia, where I work and live. We happen to use Code Red, but there are multiple different types of systems. They all do the same thing. So make sure you check with your local government and sign up for your local mass notification so you'll get the same information regardless of where you live across East Alabama and West Georgia. This is the detailed information that you need to remain weather aware during times of potentially severe weather across the area. It's all part of surviving this, is knowing what's going on and being weather aware, and this is a great way to do that. Sign up for your local mass notifications. All right, folks, so we're in monitoring mode this morning. We're watching all of this very closely. I certainly will be back from time to time throughout the day with updates, and if we start to see unsafe conditions developing across the area, I'll come back and we'll provide wall-to-wall live coverage for you here on Dr. Don's Weather. If you own a business, we can probably get you started before we do our next live broadcast this morning. All you have to do is send me a message on Messenger, and we'll let you know how to get started. And I mean, literally, within about 15 or 20 minutes, we can have your graphics done and have you supporting Dr. Don's Weather. Don't forget about the coffee cups. Link is in the top of the video. Once you get your coffee cup in, you're gonna send me a photograph, and I'm gonna share with you, just like we shared Miss Pam's photo at the top of this broadcast. And you're supporting Dr. Don's Weather at the same time. Those proceeds go back to support us, to keep us on the air so we can keep you safe during times of severe weather. We'll see you a little later this morning. Thank you for joining us for your primetime forecast here on Dr. Don's Weather.
This has been your primetime forecast for East Alabama and West Georgia from the Alpha Weather Center, powered by Southern Union State Community College, the venue at 5 Points Farms and Boondocks Barbecue and Creamery. Dr. Don's Weather is supported by the Randolph County Commission, First Light Coffee, Roger Bell Auto Brokers, Southern Auction Solutions, Genesis Weight Clinic, Jimmy Stevens Construction, Anchor Roofing, the Town of Wadley, Auction 431 South, the Salem Auction House, and Bama Diesel Repair. Be sure to like us on Facebook, share us with all of your friends, and subscribe to Dr. Don's Weather on YouTube. We will be back tomorrow morning with another edition of your primetime forecast on Dr. Don's Weather.